using a new phone. It's not new, it's just a different phone than my phone usually, and a different microphone setup too. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm about to indulge. And have some of this evil Starbucks. But I want to make sure that everything is set up and you can hear me okay. Let me grab this so I can do a stream test. Check it out. I know I wasn't quite ready, was I? That's okay. As long as I hit go right at 9. That's really what I care about, is being on, or right at 10. Hold on, I'll be right there. 1 second. Just gotta check the audio. How's the audio? I can't tell. Check. I don't know. How's the audio? Hi. Is there audio? Okay, hang on. Is there audio? There we go. Check. How's the audio? Hi. All right. Is there audio? There we go. Check. How's the audio? Turn it down. Well, I was talking a little bit quietly, so hello, my love. Yeah, you don't know me. Okay, so hi. Hello everyone. Miss Tori, how are you? Kaliman and America, Dar, and Troy. Hi guys, how are you? I know it's a little bit of a strange set right now. I could turn around and put you the other way. I probably should do that because I'm planning on having coffee and the whole deal. Let me actually do this. I'm going to move over this way just a little bit. Okay, hang on. You guys might know where I'm at, or you might not know where I'm at. Basically, I'm constructing a little tiny house vibe for myself, but it's been too hot and I had to take a break. And this is the audio. It's kind of weird to know where to clip it, where it's best. I think I'll clip it right here. And like I said, I'm going to indulge in, I got some vanilla lavender Starbucks Keurig pods. And I'm going to make some coffee right now. Beep. And it's going to go in the official Coffee with Dogs mug. Those will be coming for sale closer to holiday time, like when you would be giving gifts. Those will be back up for sale, so don't miss them while you can get them. Don't miss out. Let me move you guys over here just a little bit more, like that. You know, I'm trying to give you like a different, another option. It doesn't look like I'm going to really be able to. Another option for the angle of the show. So trying to do just that, but I would have to move over quite a bit more, which is fine. I can. Cocoa and honey, that sounds nice. I'm very, oh my gosh, you guys, when you wake up, are you like puffy? I've been puffy because I've been eating a ton of gluten and lactose. I haven't been careful. Okay, I'm just gonna, I don't want to mod anybody out just yet. I want to wait until it's been 10 minutes. So if there's any mods, don't mod anybody out just yet. I know this one guy needs to go. I'll mod this guy out. Just this one guy. Bye. Oh shit, that's overflowing coffee. Shit, it's overflowing. Oh, it really is overflowing. It literally did overflow. Oh boy. Oh boy. You've already had your fill, yeah. I have a little cup in the right when I get up. I did have some cold brew, and that would have been enough for me. It was enough for me, but I really want just to indulge. But what I did is I overflowed the coffee cup, so it's got the surface tension vibe going on for real. And I got to figure out how I'm going to deal with that. Hold on, I think I've got a spoon. Oh shit, I'm spilling it everywhere just walking around. Dang it. That's why I only put stuff over here that can actually get spilled on, because if I spill on it, which I know I will. Hold on, let me. Oh my God. This is so full. You guys, it's so full. Can you see how full that is? I didn't really put enough maple syrup in it. That's all right, though. I don't care. Maybe it's all on the bottom. So the proper way, just so you guys know, to stir a cup, a mug like this, a teacup or anything, is just back and forth. Quietly. Back and forth. You don't like go around in circles and beat your cup up. You just back and forth quietly. If you're at a tea party. And don't slurp like I just did. Pamela! Is that a French attempt? Bonjour, mademoiselle. Madame. Madame. I am a madame. But anyway, I'm really puffy, so what I want to do... You broke your French press stirring it. The fuck? So I finally made my proprietary blend of oils. I'm going to show you. I got the last and final oil yesterday to put in my oil blend. And here it is. This has everything that a very good anti-aging... Has it been 10 minutes yet? Can I get rid of people? Yep. Bye-bye. Use a French press with boiling water. Okay, so this is my proprietary blend. I made it myself. It's got all of the good oils that are the best oils for locking in moisture and making sure you have beautiful glowy skin, even when you're old and living in a dry climate like me. Oops, sorry. Is the sound okay? How's the sound? You have to let me know if there's anything wrong with the sound, because that can ruin a stream. If it's clipping or snapping or just doesn't sound very good, you have got to let me know. Because I had to switch phones because my other phone, I guess the screen broke or something. I really don't know. And I had that one all dialed in so it wasn't clipping and popping, because I dealt with that like for over a year. I couldn't figure it out. And in doing that to your face in the morning, that helps your lymph drain, your lymphatic fluids and whatnot. Your lymph system doesn't have its own pump. So it has to be moved by you and by your body moving. I was like, I'll get puffy if I eat certain things. Let's go like that. I'll get puffy if I eat certain things, right? And I've been eating them. Plus, my eyes got puffy like this about a year ago for no particular reason that I could figure out. But now I know it's because of, I've been asking them to fix this yucky air in my space. And for a year and a half, and now it seems like we're onto something now. Because having yucky air in your space is not good. Yeah, milk does it to you. Just so you know, cocoa digests the lactose enzyme. So if you ever accidentally eat some milk and you feel yourself having that reaction, hurry and eat some chocolate. And at that point, it doesn't matter what kind of, if it's dark or milk chocolate, you've already had dairy, so it can be milk chocolate by that point. And for that matter, you could actually eat milk chocolate. Should not have much of an issue with milk chocolate, because the chocolate digests the lactose. Now, if you have a problem with the bovine proteins like casein, whey, and lactalbumin, you definitely want to stay away from anything that is high protein these days, because they're pushing out that casein and whey. So it's awful, because people think that they're going to gain, like, that it's healthy for them or something, and that they're going to, it's not. It's going to make you or whoever gain a lot of weight unless they're somehow burning it off at the gym. You know those guys that go in there and they're really big but they're bloated, you can't see any muscle tone? That's because they use an incredible amount of bovine proteins like whey and casein, so they're bloated. No muscle tone. You can't see any cuts. They're just big. Those are the guys who slurp whey protein. Yeah, chocolate, girl, chocolate. So you do have that covered. I also have in the past many times put cocoa in my coffee just because it's good for you. I have some unsweetened stuff. Right now it's maple syrup and oat milk with the Starbucks lavender vanilla coffee. I'm sure Starbucks puts all kinds of disgusting additives in their coffee. I just have a feeling. I've always felt like they put testosterone in their coffee, literally. Just trace amounts of testosterone. Yeah. Sounds delish. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of oil on leggies. There we go. Alrighty. What else do we have for morning time? Oh, and it smells so good. The last ingredient is frankincense, a hint of frankincense. And the ingredient before that is rosehip seed oil. And then a bunch of other oils and ingredients that help you to, it helps literally just retain moisture in the skin and plump. And cheers. You bathe in milk? What kind of milk? How? I hope it's not just regular store-bought milk. That stuff is gross. You don't want to absorb anything like that through your skin. Blech! Goat's milk. So you have a source for getting good goat's milk. What's up, Ed? How are you? I'm just here today to come on for a little while and keep you guys company. Those of you, some of us are just on the Pacific coast, kind of getting a slow start to our days. Your own goats. There you go. So who is on the Pacific coast area? Pacific time. I am. Right here. Me. Neutrogena says, oh, that stuff is amazing. Absolutely. I used to use that actually quite a while ago. Yes, I have a date with an x-ray machine today. My insurance company won't approve an MRI until they see x-rays. But it's like, well, didn't you see the last x-rays you guys did? It's pretty much the same thing. The next ticket on the docket is edibles. We're going to go with some CBD and very low THC. My hair secrets, they're not secrets. I teach them all the time. So that'll be 40 CBD right there. 40 milligrams of CBD. Is that enough? I don't know. Can you, in the comments section, Mr. I on you chat, you're acting really creepy and weird. Can you just be normal? God. So those of you who are reading the chat, one of the things I like to do is let you see how a guy would communicate. Usually it's someone who wonders what's wrong with him, why he can't get any. But if you just read the comments, you'll see exactly why. And this is important for my channel because we're like 80% American male viewers. And so for you American males who wonder what's wrong with you, what's the problem, why women don't like you, read the comments. If you can detect when someone's being creepy or when they're being cool, if you can figure out which things resonate with the chat, you know, with the other females in the chat with me, which things get a comment back, that is a really great learning experience for you. My channel has become one that can definitely help guys that don't have a clue, because I know, and I know the demographic is a lot of guys that don't have a clue. So sometimes we just let it roll so you guys can read them and see. Hey Dwight, how are you? It is what it is. I'm getting more x-rays today to justify an MRI to my insurance company. So that's that. I think it's time for biofuel. I had to, the edibles don't quite do it. I couldn't get the body relief from the edibles that I was after. It just was all pretty much, it was and it wasn't. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's okay. So this is Biofuel by Serene. Your candle is flickering and sending up black smoke. It probably just means you lit the end that was already too burned. You're supposed to clip the wick a little bit before that happens, but not too much. Cheers. I'll tell you. So I've come on early today, Pamela, because that's when usually there's less riffraff. Really, when I came on at 7 a.m., there was a lot less riffraff. It was all the American people in the morning, so old people like me, basically. Thank you, nice guy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Geneviève. It's my birthday month. As a matter of fact, my birthday is tomorrow. So smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I was originally wanting to hit 30,000 by my birthday, which means I would have to basically stream all day long today. Had a little bit of a setback this month, but you know, I never give up. I never let anything truly get me. It is what it is. As long as I can still think my own thoughts, that is all that matters. You live in Florida? Do they teach you all caps in Florida? Yep. They're making me get another one. And yeah, exactly. It's like, y'all. And that's what I think happened the first time I went to them. Because the surgeon came in and I said something about being a 3. She's like, oh, I don't know, maybe like 2. And I think she was seeing someone else's x-ray, because when I was shown the screen and I took shots of all of them, when I looked back, there was someone else's x-ray in there. And she didn't have but a tiny little bit of baby slip. And then when I went to the ER, the doctor didn't even attempt to look at my x-rays. When I said I needed an MRI, she said that it would be a very, very, very long wait. And then like an hour later, she came back. She's like, now it's going to be an even longer wait. Why am I not an emergency? Because they looked at me and thought, you look fine. They didn't look at the images. So someone at some point is going to take this as an emergency. I don't know if I just have to go back to the ER with like a huge poster of my x-ray and be like, this is why I'm in the emergency room. Thank you, Dwight and Nice Guy. Thank you. You come back. Maybe, I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow or not. It might be a silent stream because on my birthday, for some reason, even though I used to always get really excited that it was my birthday, I think because I saw my sister get excited for her birthday and other people get excited for their birthdays. So I was doing the whole neurotypical mask thing, like, I'm so excited. But then it would come around and I would be burned out from excitement masking and just want to be alone and feel kind of like nostalgic, which is considered a mental illness, actually. Years ago, the feeling of nostalgia was considered a literal mental illness. I get nostalgic and melancholy and pensive. Do you guys know what those words mean? They're all similar. Pensive means kind of thoughtful in a deep reflective way. Melancholy means thoughtful in a deep reflective saddish kind of way. And nostalgia is thoughtful and reflective in a very sad, depressing, debilitating way. I think they're degrees. Year of the Fire Horse. Oh, wow. Well, I'm a dog. I'm always deep and reflective, and that's why neurotypical people are not happy with me. They don't like hanging around me other than like their first impressions of me. I'm exciting and fun and all those things. Interesting. They're mystified and curious and all that stuff. But it's like a moth to a flame. I am all of those things, but I don't stop being those things. It's not temporary. It's not a show. And so it's a lot for people when I constantly put off that type of high vibrational radiation. Boom. It's very easy to feel like you are fried or burned when you are actually in my presence because I put off so much energy. And once your 65 birthdays, what? I don't understand, Dwight. Let's see, Nice Guy. That was a good point you made earlier, Miss Genevieve, about the mental health and thought process of most males on the internet. So let's talk about it, okay? Tell me your perspective. If there's anything this channel can do, y'all, it is help incels out of mama's basement, okay? Now look, yes, families should live together. Multi-generational families are what's traditional and how people in families help one another thrive, okay? They pool their resources. That's what it is. Pooling resources. That's called a multi-generational family when you live together and help one another. So just don't be hiding in the basement. Don't look like you just farted your way out of bed whenever you go anywhere. Be clean. Care about your appearance. Make sure your space is clean and tidy, neat, and organized, where you can find anything in pitch black, dark. If you clean your room completely today, and I mean pull everything out of the walls, you dust everything, wipe down the walls and the ceiling, vacuum that shit, get your air purified, put up some beautiful essential oils, not Essensi, not Febreze. Those are chemicals, chemical fragrances. Those are hormone disruptors. They mimic estrogen in your body and make you more feminine. They make you have more female diseases. They're seeing female diseases in men. Why? Because we are all ingesting all these hormone disruptors that mimic estrogen. And it also makes you crave carbs, gain weight, all the things, get boobs, have feminine shape. Men didn't used to be shaped like men are shaped now when they gained weight. Men used to gain weight like in their bellies and stuff. Now when men gain weight, they get boobs, they get like curvy hips and stuff. So we got to get back to what's natural so that your natural hormones can take over and you can once again, or maybe the first time in your life, become the chemical version of yourself that you were born to be. This is just, it's just science, y'all. I've actually researched this. I'm educated in this specific area of environmental illnesses, how to detect them and get them out. Environmental illnesses are the things that you come in contact with, the things in, on, and around your body. Your environment makes you sick. The grocery cart, the things you put in the grocery cart that you bring home and eat, or that are around you, your fabric softeners, your air fresheners, your everything, even the TP for your bunghole. They have meetings about their TP and what they can put on it to make you need the next medical treatment. Did you hear what I said? Your bunghole wipe is making you sick by design because they also own that company too, and the drug you'll need to fix it. They make you sick, and then they give you they sell you the cure. They sell you the illness, they sell you the cure. And it's not really a cure. They sell you the Band-Aid drug, the pharmaceutical, so you keep needing it over and 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 over. Lifetime patient. Yep. It's, it's not hard to find. It's just people don't look. Excuse me. People don't look, they don't care. They're happy just sitting around being ill in a variety of ways. And you can see their illness come out in their behavior. You can see your environmental illness come out in not only the way you look, but the way you feel and the way you behave towards yourself and others. You will be able to very clearly, as a matter of fact, you could probably read the chat. I'm not really, excuse me, looking at it, but if you read the chat, you'll see a lot of environmental illness. Those who are sick from what they put in, on, and around their body and their mind. And you'll be able to see those people, typically unhealthy people, have unhealthy behaviors and treat others in unhealthy ways. So you'll probably see tantruming in the chat. And when you see something like that, when someone is tantruming, it means they live in fear. A tantrum can appear in a variety of different ways. They can act, most of the time, try to behave in a mean way. It comes across as mean. But if you look at an animal who is injured somehow and you're trying to help them, they behave mean, usually, if they're going to react. And it doesn't mean anything other than it's it's a symptom of how much in pain they are, how hurt they are. And this could be talking about you specifically. If you are the type of person who finds yourself compelled to lash out and be mean to people, back it up and look inside. Turn your eye around and look at yourself inside, and you will discover that you're really just being mean to yourself. Why would you want to stop other people from being able to give you love? Why would you want to unbless yourself? The way to instant and eternal happiness, I've done a video on it. You should go watch it. The way to instant and eternal happiness, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you guys, but smash the like button. Let's get some more subscribers in here, and I will absolutely give you the secret. And it doesn't take anything other than just knowing it. Once you know it, you're good to go. And there's no more excuses, and you'll be like, that's it? Yeah, everybody's made it so hard. So hard. I know you guys have already smashed that like button, right? Smash that and we'll get to the bottom of this, because all anybody really wants is just to feel better, just to be able to relax and feel at peace. But we don't know how. I know how, okay? And I'm going to show you, I'm going to teach you, and it is so easy. It is so easy. Let's do it right there. Smash the like button, because what I'm going to tell you is very valuable. So I'm going to go over here and take a look-see at the video, and we're going to take a look and see what the settings are. Make sure I have it set correctly. All right, so now it's on subscriber only mode. So go ahead and subscribe, and we're going to do this. Bam. Because I'm serious. I'm serious. We're going to learn the art of eternal happiness, regardless of whatever else is going on. It is just the truth. It is just the truth. Miss Tori's in. Woohoo! Your problem is being too happy. How could anyone smile too much? That is a line from a movie. We did line from movie trivia yesterday, and that was one of the lines from the movie. I threw out 3 different lines, and nobody guessed it. It's a great movie. From a book. Laughing inappropriately. No, that's your superpower. I get it, though. I get it. I've had times where I did laugh inappropriately, but I've also had times where I could not stop crying. I had to literally go to sleep and reset my neurology, because my neurology just would not stop fucking crying. That was weird. Gotta just sleep. Now I know. So, also, if there's any of you neurodivergents watching who have been diagnosed on the autistic spectrum, you should understand what the clinical terms are. When you cry, when you laugh, interesting. So, the clinical term, you heard me use the word tantrum a little while ago, right? That's not an autistic trait. It better not be your trait. A trigger and a meltdown. Those things are actual clinical terms describing when a physiological fight or flight gets triggered in the mind of an autistic person. Tantrum is when a neurotypical person behaves badly in order to get their way. Once they get their way, they're able to calm themselves down immediately. They got their way, they're happy now. It was just all an act. That is not trigger and meltdown. That's just a tantrum. Now, a trigger, there are a variety of things. Usually, someone who's clinical about it has a variety of triggers. And the way you can deal with it, the best way really, is just to try to neutralize it. If it's something that can stop or you can move away from or something like that, right? So the danger is when triggers get piled on top of one another. Trigger after trigger after trigger, they would call a time of high stress where there's a lot of triggers all at once. Too many triggers can then trigger a meltdown, which is that physiological fight or flight, freeze, fawn, that response. And that's when you'll see an autistic person possibly get aggressive or completely shut down. And again, I think what's needed is just a reset, just a sleep reset. Because otherwise it doesn't go away. It takes sleep. Cold, dark, and quiet room, weighted blanket sleep, if at all possible. And that's the thing, like in life, that shit is not really possible. You got to keep rolling. And so you end up having just to push through and just do it anyway. Do it. Trigonometry. High voltage, perhaps. That's a really interesting way to look at it, Miss Tori, because if you look at it like a circuit breaker or like a surge strip that has like 10 things you can plug into it, and then that 10th thing gets plugged into it, and then all of a sudden one day everything turns on at once, or something comes in from the other direction and it has to trip the circuit because it's triggered, it's overwhelmed, it's had all of those individual triggers managed, but then there was another one and it was just boop, and it's exactly like a circuit breaker. And that is literally what it is like. So for any of you out there who find yourselves, if you're able to just get your way and recover, that's a tantrum, okay? You need to stop doing that shit. You need to grow up, okay? I mean, and just be honest with yourself. If when you get your way, whatever it is, it's usually trying to get negative attention for yourself. That's usually what a tantrum is. You're obviously attracting negative attention to yourself. And if you get your way, do you go back to your normal little evil state of being? Or have you ever noticed yourself becoming more and more and more and more agitated in one more thing, and you're just going to lose it, but you maybe don't see it coming, and the only thing that helps is when you are alone, cold, dark, and quiet, weighted blanket. If that's you, it's really good to notice ahead of time what those things are. If there's places, I had to learn the places I was not, like, literally uncomfortable. I could not go there. There was a restaurant and they had an old jam box with these shitty speakers that had been blown a long time ago at opposite ends of the restaurant. The little rectangular ones connected to a jam box. and they would play Beach Boys and like Elvis, and it was horrible. And instead of asking them to turn their thing off, I just stopped going there because it was so horrible for me auditorily. I was like, oh my God, just give me some chapsticks. And so there was another place I had to learn I couldn't go because it was open. So all of the kitchen, all of the busing, all of the stools, everything echoed in this very concrete space. Like the floor was literally like polished concrete or whatever that is. The chairs were metal without felt pad underneath. So every chair that went in and out, and there were tables that had 3 on each side, so 6 people in and out with their stools in and out, and it was like, "Argh!" It was like nails on a chalkboard. And then the bus boys would just be dumping things, throwing things, and it's all of the dishes clanging together and the silverware clanging together, and everything that's going on in the kitchen, from the kitchen people talking to the actual sound of the metal spatulas on a metal grill, that all of it. I can't go there. ASMR, oh my God. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Compliment? Yeah, possibly. What was that? Quit taking the pills. My son started taking some medication the doctor gave for him for ADHD. He's highly intelligent and multitasker, and he just quit taking the pills. Yeah, I'm sure they uh those pills have side effects that aren't worth it, you know? And ADHD, I don't really know anything about ADHD, honestly. So, but look and see if ADHDers have what's called paradoxical effects, where the thing that's supposed to help them has the opposite effect and it makes them woohoo. I have that. Like I can hardly take any any meds at all. Even if they help me in one way, they absolutely destroy my life in another way, and it's just not worth it. It's like you're just trading off which thing's worse, and I'd rather go with the natural thing where there's no danger of addiction, dependence, or withdrawal. What is going on? Hee haw, hoo wah. You can't even take aspirin. That sucks. Thank God, I can at least take Tylenol and Aleve. I've been messing around a little bit with like every couple of days as very, 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 very needed, only as very needed, gabapentin, and then this one I took literally one of. I don't know what it's called, but keep our fingers crossed. So let me ask you, please, people. Hi, everybody out there. I need to ask you all a question about content. Moving forward, YouTube's, oh, my back just clicked and moved. It's so weird. Moving forward, the strategy will change. I'll still do live streams, but my strategy in the shorts and long forms area will change. And although I'm very transparent, so when something's going crazy in my life, you guys know about it usually, right? And I always say, like, I do not want to talk about it, but I end up because that is my life. But it's really like not what I intended it to be sometimes. And so that's why I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, also because I don't want to be even living it. Oh, did that pinch different? See, it's like, ooh. It does click. Oh, shit, man. It moves around actually a lot. Well, okay, yeah, it's more than an adjustment. I need, it needs to be considered an emergency situation, and nobody is doing that. So, is this journey my journey for real? What's really going on, like with the medical stuff and, what is happening in my family and the tiny house and the animals, the stuff that wouldn't necessarily be like uplifting and happy. Uh, is that stuff that you guys are interested in seeing long form content about? How I manage to power through because there's no alternative. Because what is the alternative? You know, uh, so I've shown, like, I think yesterday, for the first and only time, I have put up my x-rays so that you guys could understand. Okay, remote viewing. All right. Interesting. Cool. I need, I can't say I need, I want to practice more, uh, just impromptu remote viewing in an evidential way because I see each time I have a hit, I see what it was that I could have done better to take it into, like a perfect level 1 hit. And practice is the way to do that. So, for example, and this is real talk. You guys know that that's all I got, right? The day that back in late June, like June 27th or something like that, right? Somebody asked me who's going to win the World Cup. And I was like, World Cup? I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. And I was like, Argentina. And I thought I said Venezuela. That's what I thought I said. Because then after that, I started talking about basically referring to the earthquake. But what happened in my mind that I didn't say, I went, Argentina. And then in my mind, quietly, I said, Barcelona. And then I started talking about referring to what I thought I said was Venezuela. So it was completely out of my own, it was like literally just channeled through me. It was not even of me. I couldn't even remember what I said. But I very distinctly remember saying quietly in my mind because I think because of the accent. And I've said it many times on my channel before. It's one of the words I love to say, Barcelona. And those are the two things that I said right then. I said one out loud and one quiet. And what I learned from that is whenever I say something quietly while I am, because I didn't really realize I was doing anything, I allowed it, right? And to not quiet that, I have to say it out loud so that there is a record, so that there is evidence. That's how you become an evidential clairvoyant or evidential remote viewer, evidential anything, is you record it. So you have evidence of your accuracy. So had I said that, I think pretty much everybody, including myself, would have been like, well, hot damn. Okay. Oh my God. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Because I do. When I'm trying to figure something out, I figure it out. And then I share the information with you guys. Do you do it while awake? Oh my God, yeah. So do you. Yes, I do. I do not. I can astral travel, right? But I don't try to out of body. I talked about that in depth the other day. There's no one that has ever been able to give me a really good reason for why we should try to leave our bodies. No, you don't need to do that. Stay put. You don't need to go anywhere to see everything that you can see. What I would say to you, if you have a completely blank wall that you can look at, you do it in your dreams, or go into the shower bathtub where you can just relax and hear white noise of the water and maybe some steam and like nothing really, you can soften your focus. But if you can even look at a clear, clear blue sky where you can just see, it's just completely blank, like a blank slate. And just sit there and look at it. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you know? You can, nice guy says, you can put your thoughts out to the universe and you can also speak things into existence. That's right. So it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube with your thoughts. All the time. What's up, Les Flo? How are you? So, Miss Tori, then it's possible, have you kept a journal about these things, recorded these things somehow? And because what it's doing is allowing you to free your subconscious and your extra perceptions of the multiverse, basically. I'm doing good, Flo. Less Flo. Less Flo. You remember them. So you could start keeping a very succinct journal about these things where you just, record all the keywords and draw anything real quick that you would need to, your impressions of it. That's what you would do to begin remote viewing anyway. And that you can then take your developed skill sets and you're getting comfortable writing down the keywords and drawing whatever impressions, you take that over to a remote viewing practice site. There's a bunch of them now, which, you kind of don't want to draw a lot of attention to yourself. So just do it a few times and see what you think about it. Oh, that's interesting. Mike equates being psychic with being rich. Interesting. Interesting. So the target is a number. You look at that target number, you say it. You can write it down. It's possible that you, how does it go? You read it silently to yourself 3 times, say it 6 times, write it 9 times. I'm not sure. It's still just something, a hypothesis. Over San Jose. Well, I've been out of my body, and I can't. You don't need to go out of body to experience what you're going to experience, unless you're planning on just being dead, right? Then that's the reason. And just don't come back, and don't go into the light, Carol Ann. Like, don't. That's not. I don't think that's the thing, guys. I don't. I've done plenty of research, and that's not what the thing is. Pretty sure. Ooh. Miss Tori says, I mapped it out and then had clam chowder in a sourdough bowl and Irish whiskey in a restaurant that went down under the sidewalk. Okay, that's interesting. So you did that while astral traveling? In your dream? Got it. And you'd never been there, and then you went and actually did all of that? Is that what you're saying? So, nice guy, yes. I have taught here on this channel and my other channel how, basically what I do is guide you through a meditation where you learn how to do the body meditation and mind meditation, and you actually build an interior. And in this interior, you can do anything and everything that you need to do and build or be or whatever. And that's basically creating a captain's deck, basically, on the interior, so you have somewhere to go and do those things. We are the technology. We are the technology. And you must interface with the motherboard. You've got to put your bare feet on the bare earth. You must interface with the natural ground. They don't have to really do anything more to mess with us than take us off of the ground. It was in the past. So that is very interesting. That will happen. Okay, so that's something that you would want to research and see, because if you went to a place and you found evidence of some of it but not of others, go back in time and see if you can't find exactly what it was, and that would go in your case file of evidential readings. And how far back in the past did you go, or can you go? What level of accuracy? No, that's not weird. That's actually really normal. Understanding that is something like I had to realize that when I view, I tend to zoom way in, and I got to zoom out a little bit. Manny's, there you go. If I had to share one piece of wisdom today, what would it be? Just go have fun. Oops, sorry. Treat yourself like your own dog and go have fun. Go play. Go play with the ball. Go run around outside. Under a firehouse or something. That's interesting. Did you have any inkling to wonder why you went there, or if you were guided there and shown that place for a specific reason? Is someone trying to, are you of that place from the past? Is someone trying to use your ability as a conduit to see and figure out a mystery, like forensic clairvoyance, right? If you can solve crimes by following a trail of evidence that you are led towards. I've been led down rabbit holes twice in the past year, and I need one key piece of information, to tidy one of them up, and the other one I got confirmation almost immediately. Actually, yeah, I'd say 2. I could say 2.5, but we'll just stick with 2. It was in the basement. My ex grew up there. Says Miss Tori. Nice guy says when we pet a dog or cat, we feel good, in part because they're always grounded. I mean, not necessarily inside the house. You want to be outside. Even inside the house, a lot of the times, we're standing on a floor that is also got like some kind of rubber padding underneath it of some kind. So I would follow that, Miss Tori. I would. Well, yeah, they do. Um, so there's something he's not ready to face, and you can't push that. Whatever it is, if there's something trying to communicate with him and open up that can of worms, that's, he's not ready. If this is an ex who is alive and like, because I've been pulled to get involved in giving someone I know a message from someone they knew. And I just don't want to do that. Like, I'm not trying to call people and be like, hey, guess who, guess who's here? It's your dead friend. No, thanks. No, thank you. Go tell him yourself. The only thing I will do is say, hey, if you think you're getting messages from your dead friend, just believe it. Okay? All right, bye-bye. Especially right after they pass. All right, so he passed now. I always thought in afterlife we might meet there. Okay, so when did you have this dream last? Because it seems like that's unresolved, right? It seems like that was unresolved karma somehow that he wanted to not deal with then, and now it's been, you've got to decide what is safe for you to do. And also, make sure that you are protecting your whole energy, because if this is a kind of a known energetic thing, there is nothing that stops that, whether it's just you feeding that story subconsciously and it acts on you as a demon, or if actual entities or energies can attach and create that. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I'm tempted to think it's more that we feed those things into becoming demonic type of pulls on us. If you are protected, that really just can't happen. And what you want to do is unattach that. I had a very, very vivid experience the other night that most people would call a dream. And what it was is I saw on me like a shell, intertwined and like almost like human maggots. If you've ever seen like a Okay. Just imagine those are humans. Nobody's wearing anything, and they're just the human maggots. And they're really attached to me, my energy, but they're all just kind of feeding on each other's maggotness. It was super gross. But the key was that I saw it finally for what it was, and I saw it as very separate from me. And I had it twice. Sometimes you just have a dream or have a download once. I had it twice in a row, and it was like boom, and I saw it. And so now that I've seen it and it's separate from me and I know what it is, I can get rid of it off of me. Isn't that interesting? I keep going like this. That's because that's where it is. And you know where it is? This side, your left side, which this is my left side. Typically in channelers, whatever's on your left side and mediums when they are looking at you, this would be my maternal bloodline. This is my paternal bloodline. So dad over here, mom's side over here. And sometimes people are in that space energetically or positioned around you at different times in incarnations and everything. And some of some of that, like if you see it over here, over there, it pretty much means that. It's got that. So whether or not I've created it by feeding it or it's actually projected onto me by other energetic entities represented in that ick, it's got to go. Miss Tori, these are things that you want to record so that you have a case file of evidential accuracy. I don't feel haunted by the dreams, but I think my confusion is how can we see the future and the past? Because everything exists just like a hologram. If you took a bunch of holograms of time, past, present, future, you know, if you made this choice, if you made this choice, if you did this other thing, if you did that, and you just focus them all in the same space right here, they all exist in the same space, and you can only see really the one that you are tuned to see. But if you have a broadband tuning ability, you'll see more of them than if you were very narrowly tuned into just one. Okay, nice guy. What if you got a message from the other side saying, tell my friend they still owe me money? I would tell your friend, first I would tell the person trying to come through, go tell him yourself. And I might even say, by what method will you be communicating? Tell me what sign you'll be using. And they'll say, whatever, a quarter. I'll leave quarters, or, they'll find dollars or something. Who knows? That's between y'all, right? And then I would say, go tell him yourself. And then I would tell the friend, your friend came to me, wants to tell you stuff, but you don't believe it when you see it. And so there's going to be clues left. And when you see these things, you'll know your friend is talking to you. Just shut up and listen. You can do it too. You don't need someone to do it for you. All right. Just believe it. We're trained to doubt, Oh my God, they burn witches at the stake. No, y'all, we can all hear things. We can all tune into it. It's not for just some. The Taurus. So the toroidal field carries information. And if you overlay a bunch of different ones, they still all exist, but in the same exact location. No, I'm not Wiccan. I was just born this way. I'm not anything. I've studied a lot of different theosophies, theologies, philosophies, and religions. I think the most important thing that I've learned is that we are the technology. We're biological technology. And regardless of what you think and believe up here, if you don't understand that you're part and parcel of nature, and without you being in nature, you are disabling yourself. You're unblessing yourself. To be your full, authentic, divine human, fired up technology, that happens in nature. If you can emulate nature enough and carry it with you into society, you're going to completely disrupt everything around you and get a lot of kickback from, or not kickback, but backlash, a lot of resistance, because you'll be carrying too much that most people in spaces cannot accommodate. Past life dreams. That's interesting. I've had fluent German dreams, and I've had times where for a few days I speak very much in German, and when I look it up to see what I'm saying, if it's what I think I'm saying, I'm darn close. Sammy or Sami Norse. I found that I did not really know myself until I spent time in nature, says Dogwoman. 100%. You aren't yourself. There's not a you to know until you go to nature. From Oslo, Norway, there you go. Okay, that makes sense. Follow that. Follow that. You know who you are if you just allow yourself to listen to yourself. You're never going to find the answers outside of yourself. Someone else out there telling you who you were or how you are or were, or telling you that you weren't that or you're not that, who are they? If they knew themselves, they would never tell you that you don't know yourself or that they know you. Riding in a sleigh, being pulled by reindeer. There you go. Do it. Do it. I encourage you greatly. It sounds to me like this is something that your core feels very satisfied by. And that is what we're here to do. I've said it 100 times. What would you do with a dog? You take him to go play. What would you do with a kid? You take him to go play. You want to have fun. What do you want to do today? What sounds like fun? Go do it. That is your purpose here. And you know what? Better yet, make that your purpose here. Do that. Build that into your thing that sustains you. If that's what you want to really, 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 really do. And when you go and you're being exactly who you know you are or who you wanted to be all along, you will not need to pay to exist any longer. They've lured us all into society with the promise of the societal, what is it? A payday. And all of the trappings of society, the brand name garbage that they ship out over to friggin' Africa and dump on the beaches or wherever because of all the old stuff they can't sell. And they just keep selling us old garbage and garbage after garbage. And no, stop buying their garbage. Go do what you want to do with your life, and you'll find that you are naturally sustained. Excuse me. Do it. What is it that you want to do the most, you guys? Everybody out there, what's the thing that if you could just get someone to tell you that you have permission or that you were meant to do it or that you can do it or that you're good at it, drop it in the comments. If it's something you've always really, 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 really wanted to do, but you're afraid even to say it or think it, If that would be, even if it would be scary to you, it would be the most fulfilling, it would be the most fun once you did it once or twice and you could relax a little bit into it. It would end up being the thing that's literally the most fun and most fulfilling for you. I encourage you to do it, even if it's not scary, even if it literally is just fun. That's what you were put here to do. All of us is just stop the nonsense, stop contributing to society. The only reason we have to pay to live here is because we keep having jobs and buying things. If we stop that, there's nothing for us to pay for. There's nothing. We all need to get out into nature, get out of the little box that we're in. You would ice skate. Yep, do it. Do it. When do you want to do this? Make it reality, right? It's what you're supposed to be doing. And the reason why we say call it a dream is because we hold it in our subconscious. Stop holding it in your subconscious so that it's only a dream at night. Bring it forward. Bring it in front of you. Speak it into reality. Speak what you really desire, because that speech creates the toroidal field that creates then the mass and matter. It says to the universe in what you're creating, what matters to you? What matters? Do you hear what I'm saying? The word matter. Things are made of matter, are they not? I'm made of matter. This made of matter. Because why? Because this mattered. I mattered. The thing that you want matters only when you speak it. Speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it. But do it in your own space, by yourself. Turn off your phones, put your phone somewhere, leave your phones, go into nature where you're literally nobody can hear you and speak that shit. Tablet weaving. Oh, cool. Dog woman, you got me on that one. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I had to take a little whistle break and welcome back. Like, subscribe. Thank you. Yes, I love this chair. This chair's been in my whole life. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if I know that I have actually told you guys about the scrolling things I make. I was looking at this chair today. I'm like, I wonder if that's kind of where I picked it up, or one of the places, because it's got a lot of the same features on it that I put in my own drawings, but a little bit different. I could draw one for you right now, so you know what I'm talking about. Actually, let me use this. Okay. I mean, here's kind of one, but it's got an eye attached, and I didn't try to do a very good job, but this is not what they usually look like, but here's one. I draw eyes and swirlies and stuff like that, but I'll do just like a swirly. It almost looks like directions to something, or like a code of some sort. Mohammed, I don't know about that. Maybe for some. Something like this, but I would get really more intricate and just keep going and going and going. Which one? This one? How do I know that's not directions to something? They'll find these in 20,000 years and be like, they were trying to tell us all along. Rhodesie? What is your name? Rhodes. Hi, how are you? See, these are downloads. I get downloads, y'all. I get downloads sometimes, and they make me have to sit up in bed and write that shit down. Or whatever I'm doing. Mohammed? Huh. Do you feel like your life is slipping away? Because you spend too much time on Reels and TikTok? And your mind is unsettled because you are very distracted? Do you feel, can you relate to that? This is Buddy. The mummy appearing in your drawing. So Miss Tori says, I draw like pyramid or triangle shape and faces like mummies appear. It's almost like scribbling. I wish you could see it. Oh, yeah. I have one like that, as a matter of fact, I think. That's not uncommon. Don't be afraid of that. That's good to do that. You're good. You're good to go with that. Don't let that scare you. You're good with that. Ooh. I don't know. I've got so many different books of drawings. I'm just going to pull out this one and see if it's in here. If it's not in there, then it's not. But I think it might be right here. Anatomy. Muscles. The fuck? Hold on, guys. Oh my god, I like can't even turn the pages. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm freaking out right now. Hang on. One, two, three. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. You guys, I've been drawing something for a really, really long time and didn't even realize it, I guess. And I'm trying to find it. I thought it was right in here. But it must be this thing here. Sorry, yeah, I just had to make that, I just had to pull that out. I did not expect to see that. You know, I have so many of these, right? And so many references to what they are, what it means. Things that are similar. So this was forever ago. Like this is current. This is very, very old. I don't even know what year this was. This was like 1992 or 3 or 4. And look at this. Like, what is that? What is that? Oh my God. It had like 21. It was about like that. But this is also where, oh, look at this. I just showed this the other day. What? But as far as like scribbling, this is probably charcoal maybe. Anyway, so trippy. Super trippy. Yeah, right. Mohammed and Miss Tori, past, present, and future woven and seen through the third eye. Interesting. Yes, it's true. And it's just put yourself on the earth, okay, you guys? We are the technology. There's 3 things that you can do to enhance your and fire up your technology. Ground to the earth, which means touch it. Hydrate, which means electrolytes, right? And breathe, that connects, that fires up your technology. That's why when you're born, when you take a breath, that's the time you were born. When you go and you lose consciousness in your last breath, that's because you're no longer tapped into this consciousness. Trippy. Trippy, trippy, trip, trip. Now I'm looking through all my other remote viewing and drawings and things like that, that I really don't, I only have remote viewing in here. And I showed you guys this one the other day. It's not what it looks like, but it's exactly what it looks like. That's part of remote viewing, Evidential. And I went back to the website. So is this. That's remote viewing. Okay. So I went back to the website. They sent me an email about remote viewing. And I went back to the website. Apparently there was a competition or something like that. And I went and saw the winner. And I was like, the only reason she won is because she did more of them than everybody else. Her stuff wasn't particularly great. So now I find it interesting because I don't know. I mean, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. She really wasn't a good artist. So she really wasn't able to fully develop her ideas. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I don't really want them to come hunting me down. So it's kind of like I do, I don't, I do, I don't. I mean, want to do it online. You've got to be really careful of letting anybody know what you're capable of. If you have capabilities, don't go all over the internet testing whether or not you do. You know you do. You don't want to draw attention to yourself from the people who you would draw attention from, which are predators. Oh, okay, so, I mean, I'm just an artist, first of all. Some of those things were just artists. Some of those were me training, like when I draw anatomy, those were years ago. The ones in here, what I'm telling you is, if you're not familiar with the remote viewing sites, remote viewing, like rvtest.com or something like that. There are a few different sites, but there's one kind of that's gaining more popularity, probably run by the CIA, to find people who are good remote viewers. That's why I said be careful. So I teach on here how remote viewing actually works and what to do, but you can probably also learn over there. Maybe they've got some instructionals for you. You have to learn what your brain does to what you're seeing that's going to make your remote viewing incorrect. You got to remove your thinking mind from it. And I've taught many, many times. And so what you get is a target number. You write the target number down, and then you start your session and you start writing down the impressions you're getting and drawing anything that you pick up on. And don't let your brains try to tell you what object you're seeing, because you've got to not do that. Many times that'll be the thing that makes a good quality hit not a good quality hit. You got to start training your mind to really describe exactly what it is seeing for real in terms of properties of that thing, instead of your brain saying, I don't know, it kind of looks like an XYZ, and you're like, it looks like an XYZ. No. Then, once you're done, you go back to the website and you have to upload your drawing, your page, your description before you are shown the hit or the target. And it generates a hit scale, 1 to 10, and then it asks you what you think your score would be. And then the public can also rate that. So this is a way of doing double blind training and testing yourselves, but do it anonymously. Well, they are afraid. Are you kidding me? They are afraid, and that's why you should probably not tell people what you can do. You got to keep it to yourself for the most part. You know, don't trust anybody to have your back. Most people will want to distract and hinder your capabilities. Once they realized that they would actually have to work to develop their own, get down. Because I think anybody can really develop these, but most people think that it's some kind of special powers and they're afraid of it because they don't realize they can develop it. Where am I from? I'm very nomadic all over the United States. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably just best kept to yourself. Oh. I did go into this store here. I was waiting for my kid to get his hair cut. And I went into a store that sells metaphysical stuff. And they literally had tea. They were selling tea on a wall. And the expiration date was in 2024. I mean, for tea to expire, first of all, and then for the expiration to be 2024, and then everything else in there just felt like just wrong. I just need nature. You know, you can't metaphysical story your way into a real true connection with nature because you are the technology. And unless you're plugged into nature, like I can tell in the chat who is regularly plugged into nature and who is not ever. I know who takes their shoes off and lets them sink into the grass or the dirt. I can tell who hugs trees. I can tell who has respect for nature and the powers of nature and understands that you are the technology just by reading in the chat, and those who don't. Mohammed, I wouldn't have the first clue. You'd have to ask all Americans. We don't really talk about that on here for obvious reasons. Some people get really bent out of shape, so we just leave that alone. We leave that to the children. Never told anyone. I just advise you really to try to keep a journal, at least of impressions and pictures and dates. Date that shit. Take pictures on your phone so it has a timestamp. Where is the alleged freedom of expression? I don't know, and I'm not interested in having a political conversation on my channel at all. I, you know, you have freedom of expression. No, you don't. I mean, you don't really have to get rid of that. It's just not going to engage in that. Correct. If you know, you know. But there are also times where you might get an impression and then later on you look back on it and you can't tell what date that was. It's evidential for you as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit this beautiful daytime. I shouldn't be twisting at all. Doggo, but I can appreciate that. Yeah, we don't need that to change our algorithm. I'm going to go with one little THC. Well, the algorithm doesn't want to hear certain words. Right. So I'm using a technique to release the fascia in my face. There's a guy who's now doing his thing he's teaching that he developed with his mom and his sister now. You guys have probably seen him. You just come forward only on the hard palate on either side, gently, because you can hurt yourself. His mom is like, it's impossible to hurt yourself or you will not. Yes, you can. I used to, like the first time I tried it last year, I just started pulling my mouth apart and that is not good. That is not good. And here, massage this right in here, all of this. Arousal weed strain. You guys are weird. You guys are just pervs. I'm teaching you really high quality stuff and you're just perving out on it, you gooners. Yeah, so you got to be careful. And right here, real careful. And lymph drainage here. You know, they say don't rub your eyes. I say yes, rub your eyes gently. Rub gently, super gentle. It doesn't take much to get your lymphatics moving. Just don't press on your eyes. But you can use your knuckles real gentle to get all that lymphatic drainage stimulated because it can't do it by itself. And you could go like this. Just be careful not to accidentally shove your fingers up your nose and out because all this water can go away. And your scapula. And down your neck. In here. back here, all of this, down here, and you know, here, ladies, take your brasiers off. Don't wear that garbage. You need all of this to free flow. All this right here, these muscles, this, all of this. Let your titties out, honeys. Just don't do that to yourself anymore. You need to let your shit just be free. Right, guys? Back of the neck, back of the head, scalpy. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. If you can get a little handful of hair, give your scalp a little pull. And then your feeties. If you can, without hurting yourself. I've got to be really careful because I'm super delicate right now, and I've just got to be careful. Even though I can, doesn't mean I definitely should, because I definitely should not. But just be careful what you're doing. If you're fragile at any point in your life, just remember that you might have to change up your thing for a minute. Yeah, burn your bras, everybody. Come on. Burn them. Let them burn. Yeah. I mean, if you find something that's very comfortable for you and you love it, but don't restrict the lymphatic flow right here. And make sure you're, always doing these types of stretching right here, because these muscles in here will get really tight, and these and these and these and these and these. And it'll just pull your face down. Don't let that happen. You got to keep everything relaxed. And it all comes back to this. That's the foundation of what this dude teaches. So if you see him, check it out. Pasties. Yeah. I mean, I've got some somewhere. Because for some reason, men can't control themselves when they can see the outline of a nipple. Like, what the fuck? Really? My dog can control himself when he sees a steak laying on the sidewalk that was not given to him specifically. Or babies. Ah. I don't know. Seems like a lot of words that you're saying would be red flagged in the YouTube world. So, okay, this is important because with the new changes coming up to YouTube, it inspires me to make my content that I want to make for you guys. Because that will help satisfy and upgrade. It'll satisfy the platform, and then I'll be able to upgrade my channel in the meantime. And I think you'll really, really, really enjoy the content. It's inspiring me to finally produce the content that I captured. It is beautiful. It is worthy. It is interesting. It's like different travels. It's about life. But also, yeah, let me know what it is that you're interested in hearing about, because I do talk a lot about a lot of different things, like remote viewing. So if that is of interest to you and I haven't really been touching on it, let me know and we'll talk about it. Because I do actually talk about it anytime someone wants to learn how to do it. because that's something that you can develop your skill set and you can get evidence for your accuracy. You can actually test and train and test and learn if you're any good, which if you train, you should get good at it. Anybody can do it. It's just a stupid skill set. Pas de moi. Poo-poo. Whew. So let's just take this moment, everyone, to read the comments in the chat. These things are important for you to look at them and read and reflect about how certain people communicate and what we think about it, so we can rate these comments. Excuse me. What about the Mandela effect? So Dogwoman says, what a person like me who guesses 50-50 chance wrong 90% of the time. What I've learned that might help you if you're interested to know is that if I give it more time, if I let it evolve fully and record it and listen, it's almost like the message comes through, like it rolls out. And so as it's rolling out, I'll get this first part of the message, but then it keeps rolling out, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more. And if I would just wait and read the whole thing, it's like I was saying about when I remote view, it seems like I'm zoomed in and I need to pull back. Same thing with that. It's like pull back and wait for the entire message to come through. I think if you develop your skill set, you will know if you can remote view. Develop your skill set and go test it. I don't need to, it's not about whether I think you could be, or it's just go develop your skill set and test and see how accurate you are, and then you'll know. It's just a skill set. It's like, do I think that you could go drive a car? I mean, if you learn how to drive a car, go see if you can do it. I don't know what to tell you. That's for real, though. Miss Tori, maybe it's possible. And for you to question that is super important. Understanding what I mean by evidential is how you would separate your creative imagination from actually knowing and seeing on multiple dimensions in the multiverse and timelines and stuff like that. There is a difference. Knowing that there is a difference is important, and knowing which one you're perceiving is important. I think having evidence is super important to me because I don't have to sit around in what's it called? Imposter syndrome. I'm not afraid to just throw stuff out there and have it be right or have it be wrong. Because every time I do, I learn a little bit more about what I threw out there, the timing of it, how it pertained to the fact, because there was evidence of how much of a hit or miss it was. There's a target. And so if there's a target and I throw out X, Y, and Z, how close am I to it? And I learn a lot about the way, the strengths and weaknesses in my method. I warn people, and when it happens, they blame me. Yeah, well, stop warning people. Or do it anonymously where they don't know it was you. Send them a letter. How does remote viewing work? That's actually a really good question. I don't actually know what to tell you about that, but it's in the CIA documents. I know they've described very specifically how they believe it works. If I had to think about it, it's what I said earlier about all past, present, future, and all possibilities. If everything was a hologram of itself, all in one space right here. And it's just your ability to perceive within that, to what extent, what direction, what intensity, what clarity in the space that you're in, if every timeline exists. And so with remote viewing, you get a target number. And the information is kept from you. You describe the properties and do a drawing if you're able to. And then they compare it with the thing, the target, and your degree of hit, your degree of accuracy of whether or not it's a hit. And you develop that skill. Anybody, I believe, anyone who really wants to can develop that skill, pretty sure. That seems like witchcraft to claim. Well, I have evidence of it. And it seems like witchcraft. Okay, to you it seems like witchcraft. Do you want me to argue for or against, or I mean, is that I don't understand. What it seems like to me is that there's a whole entire history of psychic Russian psychics, famous Russian psychics, the CIA remote viewing projects, and me being of that type of person. I just can do it. And as per the Russian training of the skill sets of those particular people, it's not treated like witchcraft at all. It's just a skill that you develop. And you can see if you are actually developing that skill and how accurate you are, because there's evidence of the actual target. So you think the only way to get inside somebody's head is to have a chip in their brain? Yeah, I really don't know if that's the only way. I know that I would. People project their thoughts, so it's not like you're getting inside of their head at all. First of all, people project their thoughts, and some people can hear or see or just know those things. That's often what I've thought the readers are who are mediums. I've often thought, well, maybe they're reading all the stored memories and impressions of that person that they're reading for. What I would want from a medium is tell me something I could not know. So it's not like I was ever able to think about it. Tell me something I couldn't know that I have to go find and research to know that this is real. Bottom line, evidence, real evidence. So, um, nobody's ever correct. Well, I'm sorry. Sorry about your bad luck with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who you've talked to or what kind of evidence they have. This is just how I was born. I'm not trying to prove anything to people like you at all. I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone other than maybe you guys can do it yourselves. It's just a skill set that can be developed. It's not witchcraft. It's not superpowers for the few. And I talk about it a lot here because I have evidential accuracy. You know, times where there's just no other explanation and it's absolute and it repeated and there was evidence for it. Amazing. And throughout life, you know, you already know if you are tapped in or if you're not. And when you are, those who are not get mad about it. Those who are not, or those who are were meant to question themselves, or those who are the black sheep and were told that they were weird or bad or evil or practicing witchcraft or whatever, those who have been ridiculed, they might be mad at people who just live. I just am. I'm an expression of human technology when it is natural and plugged in and aware of my reality, of the reality of the energies around me, of all of the layers of what we call reality. So I'm allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that. And then there's people who will be mad at that, and they're allowed to be mad at it. They love to come places where they can be mad about it and be mad at us. That's very telling, you know. I don't think that we would go into a space where they were all having an angry pity party and try to reform them, proselytize and change them and change their minds. I don't think so. You know, go where your people are. If your people aren't here, go somewhere else and find your people. Let's see. I wasn't reading the chat at all. Let me go back a little bit. Um, it was just rust. That's interesting. What are people called for those with abilities? What are people called for those with abilities with mind or knowledge from looking at people randomly? Those are just humans who've developed their intuition a little bit. Is that what you mean? What are they called? That's just pretty much every human and animal has that ability. Unless you have given up that ability to societal indoctrination and brainwashing. Excuse me. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. The silent gamer, I don't know, are you asking me a question or just what's this person adding nothing? Maybe just doing a little cleanup, you guys. Thank y'all for just hanging out. We're just chatting. Don't think too deeply into it. Just the point of this existence, I promise you, is to just have as much fun as you possibly can in every single moment of your life. Sometimes that feeling of satisfaction and fun is going to be just relaxing, just taking a nap, just cooking something, just sitting on the toilet, just gooning, just something simple, something mundane. And sometimes it's going to be actually activating yourself into a state where you are going somewhere to do something that you find very fulfilling and exciting if it is good for you and harms no one. All right? That's what we're put here to do. That's the kind of energy to put out into the world. That's the kind of energy that truly makes you superhuman. It makes you the superhuman version of yourselves. I promise you. Go have fun in the way that specifically you have fun. Okay, yep. No, Miss Tori. It could be intuition. Yeah, it's everybody could be very intuitive. That's just a very I mean that could even just be called your, your defense mechanisms, your ego, because you have to be able to identify danger. So you've got to be able to pretty much tell when something is safe or unsafe for you. So which for a lot of people, I think it's true. What am I thinking now? Premonition. So, Miss Tori, back to what you were saying about the weather. You guys try this. Go out there and whatever the weather is, right over top of you one day, soon, go out there, put a protective bubble over yourself, and just say, hey, I want it to be bam. And imagine it doing exactly what you said that you want, right? That's different from what it currently is and is not planned for the next hour or anything like that. Whatever isn't. And you'll see if you actually try to do this, you can actually do it. It's never friggin' failed. I have witnesses. I've taught people to do it who are witnesses. It's one of the easiest things that we can do. Oh, that's interesting, Ms. Tori. Well, you know, You can just try it and see for yourself and see what happens. It's literally one of the easiest ways that you can test if you can alter the world around you with just your energy, with just your intention. I've got an intention right now. Ready? Here you go. Using my ringing bowls in it. Yeah, that's interesting. Take them out into the middle of somewhere if you can, away, away. Was it a pie? Sure. Dogwoman says, in search and rescue, I have seen people with amazing abilities. It's interesting how everything I've said is actually backed by science and readily available to you or anyone who desires to research. It's all right there, but most people have not been trained scientifically, nor do they understand how to read or access the scientific journals, nor would they ever understand where to find the most accurate and sometimes even the most secret scientific journals. It's all out there. I think one of the things that might fascinate you all who are interested in stuff like this is to research. You can actually just do a Google search for mindcontrolpatents.gov and just start looking at what that even means. What is a mind control patent? What types of technologies are included in mind control patents? It's really, really interesting. I just made a cherry pie and a meat pie, so yummy. It was probably cherry because that's my favorite. I am a scientist. Congratulations. Or do they fetishize the scientific method? A circumstance? And Sid said it's easier for a camel to enter the eye of the needle than a rich man entering heaven. I need to see what time my appointment is. All right, I got a little time. Yeah, I've heard that a ton of times, of course. I believe that would have been, I'm think that's something that Jesus said, right? Isn't it quoting something that Jesus said? I really haven't studied the Christian Bible all that much. Oh my God. Oh, I shouldn't probably do that. You know, I want to stretch, but I can't move right now. I've just got to be really, really still. Multiple timelines. Well, I think what it really means is multiple possibilities create your timeline. That's really what we've got to do, people, is really just create the best timeline for yourself by having fun. Just do what you love to do. You know, some lady I know, right, that I used to know that I don't fuck around with anymore. Old lady now, right? She says that she always wanted to be a butcher. So go be a butcher. Yo. Go be a butcher. Isn't it sad that someone would live their whole life and not ever go do the thing they want to do? Go do the thing you want to do. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. That is the only point here, you guys. If you were to go do what you wanted to do, there you would find a way to just be. And you'd have everything provided for you that you needed. I promise you. And this isn't, I'm not telling you not to go work and not to, but what it turns into is it's a value exchange that makes sense for everyone involved, instead of hating yourself because you have to get up and go to a work or a job you hate because you've agreed to do that thing and now you feel stuck because you've agreed to all these other commitments, that you just feel trapped. My bad, sorry about that. But you also have a right and the ability, before it's not too late, or before it is too late, you still have the ability to remove yourself from the societal rat race. You won't really have that choice in another 20 years, you guys. Really, you won't. Probably sooner than that. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not. I wish I was wrong. I'm not. I'm not. You can go get my book, first, second, or third, or fourth, or fifth version. I just republished it last year in its 21st year anniversary, called The Secret Diet Club. on Amazon for Kindle. And it is the updated version. I tried to make it as simple and as fast as I could. I don't think that it takes long to say what I've got to say. And I'm one of those people. I don't want to read a big, thick, long book just for the sake of reading more pages. Just give me the breakdown, and that's what I do in my book. Always have, always will. That's on Amazon. You can also go to my website, GenevieveNightingale.com. GenevieveNightingale.com. That's right, I said it. That's where I do basically what I just told you about with other people, with clients, biohacking. And I've got one page dedicated to just like e-content that you can consume without needing a consultation with me. Do your own groundwork first. And then I'll help you figure out like what did you miss? What did you miss? Why isn't it, more? Once you fix all the stuff, or I can help walk you through it, but you could do so much of it on your own. Just go to my e-content. And if you either want to train in remote viewing, you want to develop your intuition, you want to develop your intuition into psychic, you want to develop your psychic into all the others and be a well-rounded clair. Well-rounded clair I call an oracle, where you just have basically, you can access. And does it mean you're right all the time and you know all things at all times? That's ridiculous. People who think that are just stupid, and they can go away. But that would be psychicbestie.com, Well, I was the pioneering expert basically at that time, trying to write books and put out content. I've been doing this a long time, y'all. I published that first book in 2004, and I had been just writing the information for people on napkins or, just shooting them off a little bit of information. I finally realized I need to write a book. I wrote it for someone specifically. I'm like, wait, don't get the surgery. Let me go write this out for you. And that was the beginning of an actual copy of the book. And first, it was published before 2004 in probably 2002 on Cafe Press in a paper form, a paperback of my book. I don't know. I might have someone. I don't know. I haven't seen one around here in a long time, but maybe I do have. I've had so many things taken, lost, stolen, whatever you want to call it. But I've known about the anti-inflammatory thing since biggity back, way back when. So, and now I've really narrowed it down to the very, very most fundamental basic things that are the most powerful. And that's what I teach my clients. The very, very most basic, most efficient, most fundamental ways for you to fire up your human technology. That is what you'll be able to find on GenevieveNightingale.com. Psychic Bestie is if you want to develop your own skills, or, if you just want me to read, I'll read, but it's, it is just like throwing stuff out there because I'm not interpreting it. You're getting the symbols. I can sit with it and help you figure out by asking you how it connects and all that stuff. But really, a good reading is going to throw out symbols for you. Symbols that only you understand how they connect, because then it's still confidential for you. I can't know what that means. Only you can interpret it. But you know when you know. But you can do it for yourself. Wouldn't you rather just read yourself? Remember when I threw that thing? Just saying. I think it landed pretty squarely right on someone. welcome. So I have things to do, places to be, all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure you guys do too. Listen, I know how easy it is to be a dick, but I challenge you today to be the angel in someone's life, right? See a need, fill a need, make someone's life a little bit easier. Be that person today for someone. And then, you know what? You can come back on here and tell me about it, but that's it. Like, don't go telling everybody about it. That's not why we do good things. We do good things in life because we are good people. That's why. We don't do it so someone will thank us. We don't do it so someone will like us or praise us or anything. We do it because we are good people. Keep being a good person. And if you're not a good person, all you have to do is just act like you're a good person and keep doing that. Okay? That's all you have to do. And don't worry about whether you are or aren't a good person. Just act like you're a good person all the time. And that's good enough for now. Go be the angel in someone's day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.